Hi, y'all. Welcome to Hustle Humbly. It's Alissa and Katy, and we are two top producing realtors in the Baton Rouge market.
We work for two different companies where we should be competitors, but we have chosen community over competition.
The goal of our podcast is to encourage you to find your own way in business.
So stop comparing yourself and start embracing your strengths. Hey, guess what? We're recording now.
Okay.
We were only 3 minutes in, to be fair.
Okay, that's fine.
Can you imagine?
No, that'd be so sad.
That would be so sad.
So sad.
We would just be like, oh, we had to do it all again. Okay. Hi, everyone. This is episode 34, take 2, because I didn't hit record the first time.
We've just been chatting away over here.
Talking it up about, this episode is all about HGTV and all real estate TV.
Yes.
So you were going to start us off with the story of you have been on real estate TV.
So in 2012 or 2013, they came to our board of realtors and said, we need a realtor that can come spend 2 days with us and film a show with us.
Yes.
And
you were brand new.
I was new. I was very new, maybe a year or two in. And so I was like, sure, I'll do it. I think I got paid like $70.
Oh, they paid you?
Like 70.
Right.
Yeah.
For 2 days of work.
For 2 days.
Whoa.
But it was super fun. And I was like, well, I don't really have any buyers that are looking to buy the Bayou.
Buy the Bayou.
Because the show I was on was called Buying the Bayou.
Right.
And they were like, oh, they're not actually buying. And I was like, what? Like, I'm realizing that these shows are
all put
real.
on.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just contacted my two close friends that were fun.
Yeah.
And asked them if they would want to join and be the buyers. Okay, what's funny is they were not dating.
Okay.
They were just, he was my good guy friend. She was my good girlfriend. They knew each other.
Uh-huh.
But they were not dating.
Okay.
But they needed to be for the show.
Okay.
So
Did they end up dating in real life?
No, but they thought about it.
Okay. So they faux date.
Faux dated.
The house buying was fake and the dating was fake.
Yeah, they weren't even together. It ended with him proposing.
Oh my word.
And they were not even dating.
You staged a proposal?
Yeah.
This probably is part of your confidentiality
I know, I am not supposed to be talking about this probably. But we took faux pictures of them with the dog and like fishing and doing like couples things, and we had all these fake pictures that we staged.
Did they kiss in the faux engagement?
They did.
I can't either.
I know.
I had no idea that was going to end that way.
Yes. Isn't that funny?
Okay, so they...
I'm about to sneeze.
Do it. Hey, YouTube, so sorry.
Yeah.
We're waiting to sneeze and cough. You good? You're fine? Okay.
So then we saw 3 camps on the Bayou.
Okay.
And no, I think one of them wasn't even for sale.
Okay.
And then they picked one.
And they moved in.
And then we faux moved in.
Faux.
And yeah, that was that. And then we did a second episode.
So you were on the same show twice?
Same show, 2 episodes.
With different buyers?
Yep.
Or were we following up and looking at their fake children?
Nope. Nope.
No?
I just got a different couple.
Okay.
Another friend. These were actually together.
Okay, thank goodness.
And we recorded with them.
Oh my gosh.
It's just so funny.
How many cameras? Was it like a small production?
It was like 6 guys, maybe 2 or 3 cameras.
Okay.
And like a sound person. Yeah.
Okay, I like it. Okay, so do you watch any real estate TV? Do you have any favorites?
I just like it on as background, like in the house, but I do love Fixer Upper.
Okay, but does Haven watch the...
Haven likes Fixer Upper.
Okay, yeah, my kids love it.
And then Property Brothers, I like them.
Okay.
I really just can't watch House Hunters and all that.
No. It's so contrived.
Yeah.
And so ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like they kind of make realtors look stupid.
or lazy.
Right.
Yeah, or like just like they're not really doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my kids love Fixer Upper. I love Fixer Upper. I mean, I don't know how you can't love it. Like, it's so great.
Just the ideas that you get from it, and like you see what could be.
Yeah, for real.
The thing I like about the renovation shows is like you can't fake tearing down a wall.
That's a great point.
Like, they are actually tearing down a wall.
I will tell you the part that Jay gets so annoyed with. You know, he's in construction, so he knows. But the part of Fixer Upper that drives him up the wall is when they have the needed dramatic moment where something has gone wrong and
Yes.
they have to make the phone call to the
Yes.
person making, the owner, hey, bad news, we're going to have to change this AC and it was not an expected expense, so we're not going to be able to have that fancy fireplace, or like it's
Right.
always something, and they're always like, okay, yeah, no problem. Like no one ever yells. I mean, I guess they know they're being recorded, but it's just like drama for the sake of drama. And so
Right.
sometimes the problems, I'm doing my air quotes, people, the problems aren't even really problems, but
No.
they needed some conflict to make the show interesting.
Right.
Which I think is funny. But other than that, look, and I don't even have a complaint about that because I love watching it. Like, it doesn't bother me. But he's just like, what is
That's
this?
not real.
This is so crazy.
I bet it's just as frustrating for realtors to watch some of these shows as it is for contractors to watch.
Oh, yeah. Well, the other thing about Fixer Upper and other ones, you have to, the renovation shows, they're in different markets. So when they
Yes.
show the price of the house and then the price of the renovation, I'm like, well, that's crazy. You couldn't. And then Jay, of course, is in the background. You could never rebuild that house for $20,000. I'm like, you sure couldn't here. But I guess in Waco, like things are real cheap.
Well, speaking of budget, on Property Brothers, I learned that the homeowners are responsible for paying for the renovation.
Okay.
HGTV does not contribute to the renovation.
Okay.
They do pay, I think, labor. Like they paid Jonathan and oh my gosh.
Oh, the brother.
Drew, Jonathan and Drew. But anyways, like they're paid production wise.
Right.
But it says that in this show it is actually important for them to stay in budget.
Yeah, because we're
a real
using
budget.
People's real money.
Yes. Now on Love It or List It.
Okay, that one is good. I don't watch it regularly, but my favorite ever Bachelorette is on Love It or List It Vancouver, Jillian.
Yes, I love her.
Yeah, so go on. What's on that one?
The show pays for half of the renovation.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes. Now, one problem is that they record a lot of episodes in one market at a time.
Uh-huh.
So they move the crew around, like as where needed, depending on the episode.
Okay.
And they have even left some houses like not finished.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So it's like you kind of are getting what you pay for. Like they're helping you out, but they may not finish.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they had to start recording 2 endings.
Okay.
Loving it or listing it.
Because it goes both ways.
Everybody was loving their home.
And they would stay. Nobody wanted to go.
Nobody actually wanted to leave.
That's funny.
Because you're settled and now like the majority of your problems are solved.
All the stuff that you were fussing about that made you want to move. Because look, people don't typically move unless there's a pain point.
Yeah.
So if you remove the pain points, I mean, that makes sense. And I think it's funny, and it's a good time to mention, this happens in real life when you stage a house and the sellers are still there. Mm-hmm. And I go and you tell them all the things to do. Now, I've never had anyone legitimately not list. Like they all still listed, but a lot of them were like, I would stay here now.
Yeah.
I had no idea
it feels so much better.
I had no idea the house could look like this. I had no idea that we could work through these problems. I just didn't like staging, and that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
So I find that to be interesting.
Now, with Fixer Upper, the homeowners already own the home.
Right, but they own the house. Mm-hmm. And then what happens? They go and pick 2 other fakies to look at.
Yes.
Move all the... They own the house, but it's not renovated yet.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're not actually buying something.
They've already bought it.
Right.
Well, I always wondered about that because quite honestly, I bet those houses are in a pretty competitive situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be able to be tooling around with the TV crew and taking your time, before you actually buy the house. So that makes sense. I'm not as annoyed by that. It's weird that they go back and fake look, but maybe they're looking at others they actually looked at.
But why not just renovate the house? Why even film that part?
I don't know.
I know.
Because we all like to hear the part when they call Joanne on the phone and they're like,
we got it.
We picked a house. And she's like, hey, I can't wait to hear what it is.
Yeah.
But why do they have to? I don't know.
Now, for Fixer Upper, in the renovation shows, when they show you the rooms renovated, but then you're like, what about the other rooms?
Yes, tell me.
Okay, so
because I've heard this
Fixer
before.
Upper, they do actually paint
The whole
and
house.
clean. Yes. So like even the rooms that aren't renovated are at least painted
They're livable.
and cleaned up. Yes.
Okay.
And then the issues, air quote, that Chip and Joanna find are not usually a surprise to the homeowners.
They've already known.
Yes.
Oh, that they needed the new AC.
Yes, these people usually had a home inspection.
Okay.
Or
You mean the dramatic phone calls are even less dramatic?
Yes.
We already knew that they were.
Yes.
Okay.
The homeowners do not get to keep the furnishings.
Yeah, I did know that there's like prices.
But they're for sale.
They can buy them.
How do you not buy the whole house?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But can you imagine the price of buying all the things that Joanna put in there?
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's also
and
really
then she picked it out. Like you're paying for her to be your interior designer.
Yeah, for sure. She's so talented.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And it's funny because like you were saying, you put it on the background. My kids love it. And my mother-in-law was so excited one day when I went to pick the kids up. She's like, oh yeah, they love Fixer Upper. We had on HGTV all day. And I'm like, great. I'm so glad that y'all found something that everyone enjoyed. I think that part of what we talk about as realtors, and I wanted to make sure that we talked about here, was HGTV has sort of ruined buyers.
It has.
I mean, not sort of. They're ruined. They've all seen a show. I don't know, whichever one they like, whichever they pick their poison. But when they show up at your house to buy it, they expect it to be like walk in with your toothbrush.
Yes.
All's well.
Yes.
And that's when I think staging really became so important. I know here, and I'm assuming in other markets, because I know there are markets that stage every single house. They bring in the furniture. It's all perfect. And then there are probably markets that are just now getting there. And I think that we've grown a lot in staging in our market.
Mm-hmm.
But in the last, I'll call it 5 to 7 years of my business, it was almost like a light switch. All of a sudden, all of the buyers were like, I don't want to paint this room.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to change that counter.
I was watching something and like the girl was like, I don't like that this rug is here.
Like it's a rug.
It's
like
a rug.
Roll it up. Get it out of there.
It does not even come with the house.
Yeah. And the other problem is that buyers, even though they're watching the show where the prices are all ridiculously low and wrong, they come into the house with the bad paint and they're like, well, it's going to cost $5,000 to paint this room. I'm like, no. Like it's maybe
$5,000.
right, like $500 at the most.
Yeah.
Like what kind of room is this? And like, oh, the carpet's bad. Well, carpet's going to cost like $10,000.
Yeah.
Like they just put the wrong price on it.
But then on the flip side, you also get the people that are like, I want a fixer-upper.
Oh, and there's none to be found.
And there's none to be found. And they think like, oh, well, if my budget's $250, then I just buy a house for $150 and then I get $100,000 cash to do the renovation.
No.
Like I'm constantly explaining to people that, you know, yes, there are renovation loans, but they have their stipulations and they have their penalties and fees and all that.
And your house has to be worth $250 when it's done.
Right. And it's not that easy to just buy a house and get a loan to renovate it.
It's probably even trickier, I know it is, to be a flipper where you're buying a house. You need enough room in the purchase price to do the renovation, put it back on the market at market value. And most of the foreclosures in our market, they are market value.
They are.
Minus the repairs you need.
So you're coming out right at what it's worth.
So it's fine if you're an owner occupant who wants to do a renovation and live there. But if you're a flipper, no.
I know.
And I think that HGTV and all the Bravo, whatever these different channels that have these flipping shows have really confused people.
Yes.
Into thinking that it's like so easy and if you're handy, you can flip a house and make $50,000 really quick.
It makes it look low risk.
Yeah.
And like it's a lot of fun.
Right.
And it's actually like dangerous if you get in over your head trying to do this stuff without the research.
I know.
But anytime I have someone call me and they say like I want to invest or flip or whatever, the first thing I do, especially if they're new, I say, well, it requires a 20% down payment, and that usually makes them go, oh, okay,
I don't have any money.
That's a lot, yeah. or like say you buy a $200,000 house, okay, you need $40,000 just for your down payment.
Yeah,
you need a little bit more for your closing costs.
Yeah,
then you need however much money you need to renovate.
Yeah.
So do you have $100,000 like ready to go?
Yeah.
For a $200,000 house. It's just, it seems exciting and fun to design, but the reality of it is that it's hard out there.
Oh, for sure. It's super hard. I think the only way around that, if you're a young new flipper and you don't own a home that you live in, you could buy a home.
Yes.
You could renovate a home, but you're going to need to live in that sucker for at least 2 to 5 years. And then you could sell it and sort of pseudo flip it, right?
If Tanner would let me, my goal would be to move every 5 years.
Yeah.
And I would find like the prettiest, grossest house.
Yeah.
And I would just fix it up while I live there.
Yeah.
I have no problem living in that.
Yeah.
And then enjoy it for like a year or two. Let the capital gains time pass.
Right.
Sell it. Do it again. Just keep doing it over and over.
And capital gains is only 2 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're fine there. And you guys can ask your CPA for tax advice. But we started that way too. Do you want to hear my story?
Yeah.
So we bought our first house, and when we sold it, we were going to build for the first time. So this is our second house we owned together. Well, Jay is handy and could do almost all, like he's worked in every part of construction, and he was getting his contractor's license at the time. So we built a house. We did a lot of the work ourselves.
Where was this one?
In Maplewood.
This was your first one?
That's the first one we built and lived in.
Okay.
I mean, I owned a house before that, but I didn't build it.
Right.
So we built the house. We had a ton of equity in it because we did a lot of the work ourselves.
Yeah.
And we waited 2 years. And after the 2-year mark passed, he looked at me and he said, okay, are you ready to sell the house? Because, I mean, quite honestly, we had quite a large amount of equity.
Yeah.
I mean, like, really. So he's like, are you ready to sell the house? We could do it again. I'm like, oh no, this is my dream home and I love it. And I'm like so mad. And I walked into the other room like, I can't believe he wants to sell this house. And I looked down at the floor and I thought, I never loved this floor. I'm like, I could build a whole nother house. And I was just like, yes, let's do it. And so we sold it, made good money, put it into the new house, built again. But when we built this house, our neighbors were so great.
Yeah?
That we couldn't move.
That's why you're still here?
That's why I'm still here. We would have built again in 2 years. Now we've been here almost 6.
Yeah.
But you never know. And I'm like,
right,
oh,
and your family lives in here. But you could have built another house in here.
Right, exactly. I know. So it's crazy. But anyway, you can find ways to invest and make money in a flipping style, but probably not in just a straight up flip.
So you didn't find the building process to be a nightmare?
No.
Okay.
But I'm good at making decisions.
Yeah.
If you are wishy-washy or not so great at making decisions,
or
a renovation or a new build is not for you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to make decisions and, as a side note, live with them.
Sure.
Because they're not all going to be right. You're going to think they're right at the time, or you're just going to be forced into picking and you're going to choose quickly. And then you're going to be mad at yourself because it's not perfect. And I'm here to tell you, HGTV watchers, no house is perfect.
No.
None. Not even the one you built from scratch and you got to pick every single thing.
I have a buyer right now who can go up to $1.4 million.
Whoa.
But we have been looking on and off for like 2 years. He's the one I showed your one to.
Our friend, I've met him.
And I like to use him as an example because it doesn't matter what your budget is.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as the perfect house.
No, and he can't find it.
And I like to tell like my young buyers that are struggling and are like, I wish we could go up to 200 or 300 or 400. I'm like, listen, I have a $1.4 million buyer who can't find anything that he thinks is perfect.
Right.
And he can't find anything.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I've picked up on this early in my career. No matter what price range you're in, no matter what buyer you are, no matter what type of person you are, you always want what's $50,000 outside of your budget. It's something about that number.
Yeah.
If you're just, if I could only, so you get a $150,000 buyer, they're like, if I could only spend $200, I'd have my dream home.
Right.
You get a $300,000 buyer, if I could only spend $350, I would be in my dream home.
Mm-hmm.
Just like your guy. Mm-hmm. He's at 1.4. If I could only spend 1.5, I would have my dream home. Y'all, like, we just have to, here's the key. Don't look at anything over your budget.
No, don't look.
That's the worst, because then you know what else is out there.
Don't even look at it.
It's not, there's no point.
Hello, friends.
Hi, y'all.
Our template course has launched.
It's out there.
And we have been getting some really positive feedback.
Yes, I have some great feedback I wanted to share with you guys. We had one purchaser say, thank you for these templates. As a new agent, I feel it would have taken me years to create these on my own.
That's awesome.
I know, it's so great. And then I had, these are so incredibly helpful. What a great investment. Thank you for your time and efforts putting these together. I think that you guys, this is the answer to saving yourself some time.
It helps you put systems in place. It keeps you professional. It keeps you consistent. It just makes everything run so much smoother.
So much smoother. You're never going to forget to tell somebody something.
No, because it's all there.
It's all there. And you're going to edit it to make it sound like your voice if you'd like. And it's going to be perfect for your business.
Yeah. So go check out our template course.
Yes.
At
hustlehumblypodcast.com.
Perfect.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Bye. Okay, let me talk about my favorite TV shows.
Okay.
Well, I love Fixer Upper, but we're going to put a pin in them. I will say that when my kids ran across the Fixer Upper section at Target, they were like, what?
This is amazing.
Oh my God, they have a whole section at Target. And I just am very impressed with their entire business and that it has grown so much and that they try everything and that they're good at everything and that they're just whatever. But we're going to stop. This is not all about Fixer Upper. I love $1 Million Listing. New York. I do not want to watch the others. I have tried Los Angeles. It is not my jam. I love New York. I just think that it's so interesting to watch. Do you know
if it's real?
I'm not sure how much of it is. They are real clients for sure.
Okay.
And a lot of it I think is real because it'll be like Frederick is listing an entire building and you're watching the developer. He's meeting with the developer.
Okay.
So you're really seeing the listing side, you know?
Okay.
You're not occasionally they'll be doing a buyer on there and I don't know how contrived that is, but most of the time you're watching them take listings.
Right.
What I have found to be the most interesting about the whole thing is they go into a listing appointment, even when it's like a multiple interview situation, and they are already negotiating with the seller before they've even gotten the listing on the price. So the seller will say, I want to sell my town, my whatever apartment for $5 million. And Frederick will be like, well, blah, 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 blah. We can only do 4. And then the seller's like, no. And then they go back and forth and then they settle on 4.25. Okay. And Frederick's like, all right, great. It's weird because the negotiation is starting all the way at the beginning.
Yes, with the realtor and the seller.
But it makes sense, and I wish that I did it more in my own business. When you have an unrealistic seller who picks a price based on whatever, and they say, I want to sell my house for $250, and you're like, but it can't sell for more than $220.
I feel like that does happen, the regular.
I know, but I don't know that I'm that great at talking them down.
Oh, I am.
You're good.
Yeah. I'm just very blunt and honest.
I know.
And I just tell them over and over, it's not my opinion.
Right.
It's not my number that I think your house is worth less than you do. It's the market numbers. Yeah. It's actually math and facts.
Right.
And I'm not here to give you my opinion.
Right.
I'm here to give you the facts.
I'm here just for the facts, ma'am.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. So I love that one. I think that they have a fun relationship between them. They're funny. I love to listen to their interviews. I need to go find my paper. I've written down things that Frederick has said because I just think he's the greatest. I have read his book and I think he's funny. And he's all about being nice.
Yeah, that's important.
Here's the way to build your business. Be nice to people.
Right.
Just be nice to be nice. Don't be nice expecting to take a listing or expecting something, but just be nice.
Sure.
And then it'll be more fun. And that's sort of his philosophy. And he's always having fun.
Yeah.
I think it's great. So I like that one. I see that they're bringing back the Extreme Home Makeover.
I used to love that
one. I did too. Did you? Yeah. Because it was on ABC. So it was on main
it was
TV.
just always so feel good and happy.
Well, they're bringing it back.
That's awesome.
And I still don't know how they build that house in 7 days.
How do they do it?
I don't know. But I think it's Jesse Tyler Ferguson from Modern Family is the host.
Oh, wow.
I remember as a kid watching TLC and watching Trading Spaces.
Yeah.
Like the first real estate shows where they go in, that's weird. The two neighbors, they swap houses.
That is weird.
It's so bizarre. I just, there have been so many good ones. Okay. I know. You want to hear this one? This is what Jay told us earlier. He read. It's a meme. I love a good real estate meme. My realtor watches HGTV. He will only show me 3 homes and I have to buy one. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, imagine if you had to show 3.
I know.
And pick one.
Right? How many more people could you work with?
So many.
Only 3
What's
houses.
funny is, you mentioned that HGTV has messed up our buyers' expectations.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think the sellers are also, they're like, you're not going to have a carnival at my house and bring in the petting zoo and the clown and the face painter.
I need the big open house.
And you're going to spend all this money of the themed open house. It's just not our market.
No, also, those things are happening in a market with a luxury listing that you're getting paid $100,000 to sell.
Yes.
Like, I can take the risk of a $30,000 party, I guess, if I'm going to make $100,000.
Yes.
But I can't spend $3,000 on your party if the commission is $4,000. Like, that's just not going to work. Jay always complained and laugh. I just crack up. There was this one episode of Flip or Flop with Tarek and Christina. And they just got the house because they're flippers and they buy these things they've never even seen before. Like, they've driven by, right? They just get the house and they go and they're seeing it for the first time. And they're in California, right? So they're wearing like t-shirts, shorts, and flip-flops. And Tarek starts like tearing down this like cover, like this huge patio, like metal roof. And Jay's like, he's wearing flip-flops. This is so ridiculous.
This is not even real.
You shouldn't be doing that. This can't be right. Like, why are you wearing flip-flops? I just think it's funny because, y'all, it is TV. But the consumers in the world, they think that's real.
I know.
They think it's real. So we have to be
how it works.
Aware that they think it's real.
Yeah, I think that HGTV just makes us need to educate the consumer more. Because they don't understand.
Look, and don't be afraid to speak to the fact that we're talking about it and it's HGTV. Like, I'm not afraid to say, hey, to my seller, HGTV has ruined your buyers.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to have to paint this pink dining room.
Now, I didn't include this in the templates course because it's very specific to me.
Okay.
But I made the decision like 2 years ago that I'm not that good at working with investors.
Oh. Okay.
The reason is I invest in real estate, but I'm very conservative and I like do things very slow and I won't buy it unless it's an amazing deal. I won't buy it unless it's in an appreciating area.
Right.
And like I have investors that buy houses in places that
you don't want to.
I would never ever buy a house in for whatever reason. Yeah. Maybe they'll never appreciate or that they're actually declining.
Right.
And they spend a little bit of money and, make a little bit of money and they're fine, but I would never do it.
Right.
And I have trouble advising people
to
buy it. Like, I get a lot of, it makes me anxious when they're like, hey, if I bought this, how much could you sell it for?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. I would hope, based on the numbers, I could sell it for this. Right. But what if you put all this money into it and then I can't sell it?
Yeah.
And so not only do the investors they are very demanding clients because they're sending you dozens of addresses a week.
And they want all those market reports.
They want all the market reports. And then at the end of the day, they buy something for like $40,000.
Right.
It kind of goes back to, it's not that I'm, beneath it, but when it comes to actually making a business decision, I don't have the time to do the sorting and the filtering. So I have a template.
I want to hear what it is.
It basically just says, I want to be honest and upfront with you that I am not the best to work with investors.
Right.
It is not the area of real estate that I thrive in. And I tell them I own rental property.
Yeah.
I have flipped houses before. And that is why I'm conservative. And so I have found that I frustrate investors.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a plethora of options to send you.
Right.
And I also have a little paragraph in there about our market and how things are not priced with the margins to do that.
Yeah.
And I end it with just saying, if you would like me to refer you to somebody else, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah.
But it has taken so much stress off of me.
Do they respond?
They're so thankful.
Do they get referrals or do they say, maybe you're right, it's not for me?
No, one guy recently, young guy, never done it before, friend of mine, he's in construction, and I sent him, he texted me and said, hey, Alyssa, I want to get into flipping properties. Can you meet with me next week and we can talk about it?
Right.
And I just said, no, but I'm going to send you an email and I told him I have this email saved because I have so many people that reach out for this.
Yeah.
And I just want to be honest and upfront. Well, after reading it, he was like, I think you're right. He was like, I think that the margins just aren't there.
They're not.
And he has little baby kids and he's like, our family isn't at a point where we can risk
so
all
much savings or all of whatever.
Yeah, to make this dream happen.
Yeah.
But then I have an investor who has all the money in the world and buys like $40,000 homes and sells them for $100,000 and makes like $15,000 a couple times a year, which is like
that's good.
fantastic for him.
Right.
I would never do it, but he does fine.
That's so funny.
I know.
Do you ever, in this template, do you tell them about sheriff's sale and explain how it works?
Yes. I explain sheriff's sale and foreclosures.
Yeah. I
explain how the foreclosures in our market, how they're priced only to include repairs. At auctions, you have to have cash, sight unseen. It's a pretty good template that has just taken the burden off of me.
Because you're not going to,
Yeah, like my one investor was like, well, I'm just going to send you addresses. And, you know, because I told them I don't have a lot to send you.
Yeah.
And that's when the investors are like, well, I was working with this one realtor, Alissa, but she never sent me anything.
Right. We don't want to be that person.
I don't want to be that person.
No.
So I just tell them ahead of time, like, this is not my area.
Right.
And you would think I think people think that it would be my area.
Right.
Because I own investment property.
Yeah.
But there's a reason I only own 4, and it's been 9
you hang
years.
on to them. Right. And you're not looking to sell them next week for money.
And the 2 that I flipped were so stressful.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I don't want to do that again.
Right. You only did 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we're going to have a whole episode about investing.
But
yeah.
I just think that these shows, they make it look so easy.
They do make it look too easy.
And it doesn't really explain how they got their cash to do this.
Yeah.
Or how they're financing it. You know, there's just a lot of things that go into
I always have questions, especially on Fixer Upper, when they talk about the after renovated value.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, but how can that be? You're saying that the comps in the neighborhood were this. You only put in this much money. And then all of a sudden it's worth like twice as much. I'm like, I don't think I understand.
I know.
Like, it's just so crazy. This is a good meme that I wanted to make sure I told you. The memes for the HGTV couples be like.
Yeah.
This is the HGTV couples be like. I sharpen colored pencils for a living, and my wife names Bath and Body Works soaps. Budget is $14.5 million. I mean, it's so ridiculous, but that's what the show is. It's funny because it's true to us as realtors.
Yes.
But the public, it's not true to them that way.
No.
They think that, whatever person working at the burger place and the wife that's working at the Bed Bath & Beyond could buy the, $300,000 house.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if they save for a while.
Sure.
I mean, like, it's not realistic, but they're fun to watch.
But even just trying to figure out, like, what is the income in these areas?
Well, right.
Versus, because, like, I know I just had a client move here from California, and they sold their house there for, like, $2 million, and it looks like our old ranch-style houses that we sell for $200,000.
Right. Well, right. And so when you're watching a show based in California, I mean, there's no reality at all to where your market is. It's, definitely something that you got to navigate with a realtor if you're actually going to use this information to make real estate decisions.
Right.
I think they're great for entertainment value.
Yeah.
I love them. Not all of them. I mean, sometimes it's like, well, I've done this all day. I don't want to do it. Outside of that.
Exactly.
But if they're doing a renovation, that's different.
Yeah.
Like, I would never watch House Hunters.
No.
I mean, there's no way. I mean, it's exhausting. It's annoying. It's like, this isn't true or real. I think you're good. You want to stop? Or we're good.
We're good. Well, we can stop soon.
Okay. But it isn't true. It isn't real.
No.
It's just, it's really hard to like find joy in watching that farce.
Yes. It's pretty, and it's so dry.
Oh my gosh. And the realtors are always overdressed. They look ridiculous. They're, stomping around the beach in heels.
Yep.
What is going on?
So bad.
But I like the renovation ones because I want to see the transformation.
Yeah, because it's like the staging.
Because that's real and true. Oh, I love Hometown. We didn't talk about Hometown.
Oh, that one's new.
That one's good.
I like it.
And they're in Mississippi, and it's
I
so
like that
sweet.
they do like different designs, like, colorful cabinets and things.
Do. And they're trying to like really rehab a whole city, like a whole downtown. Like
that's so cool.
They want to save these old houses that were going to get like bulldozed.
That's amazing.
Which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fun. I enjoy the shows. I'm not saying you shouldn't watch them, but be mindful that your clients are watching them through a totally different lens.
Right.
So it's fun, but you got to be careful.
You do have to be careful. So there was this article that I found about HGTV, and it's like the 5 lies.
Oh, 5 lies.
That they think that HGTV has caused the market.
Let's hear them.
Okay, the first one is that they make realtors appear lazy sometimes.
Like they're not really doing.
Like they're not really working that hard.
Just glorified door openers.
Yeah. That's all we're there for. This is the kitchen.
Like as if you couldn't figure that out. For heaven's sakes, a robot could do it.
I know, right? Look out, they're going to take over. They overemphasize the importance of new features in a home.
Oh.
Like, my home must have granite.
Okay.
Or this home has surround sound.
That's not the realtor, just the show in general.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, it makes buyers go, well, I want that.
I have to have that.
I have to have that.
I need a smart thermostat.
I was listening to someone, it was like a comedian or something, but they were kind of making fun of some of the shows and how they're like, it really is kind of like marriage counseling, and you can see which couples are like, how did you even end up together? You know,
Right.
when she's like, I want a large kitchen because I bake on the side, and he's like, I just want to live in the garage because she's going to take over the house.
Right.
But they were like, I want a man cave, and it's like a man cave, aka is the fourth bedroom that you don't use.
Right.
Like, that's a man cave. It's an extra room.
Cave it up.
So the features that they say they must have are kind of silly.
That's funny.
HGTV downplays the expense of renovations.
Agree.
Already talked about that.
Wholeheartedly.
They said you will notice that HGTV doesn't really talk about location.
True.
I guess unless you're watching like beachfront property or something.
Well, yeah.
But like if you're buying a house for, $50,000, there might be a reason.
There might, the location might not be so delightful.
But they never ever talk about that.
But
really.
it's funny because in the intro to Fixer Upper, they do say, I think it's that one, buying the worst house, the worst house in the best neighborhood,
And then also buyers know more than they think is lie number 5. That's not the lie, that's the truth. But HGTV thinks buyers are naive.
Oh, stop.
Yes, like, oh, it's fine, we're just gonna, they think that buyers don't understand how much things cost or what they can get. And things like
buyers, I think, are so savvy.
They are. And that's what this article is saying, is that contrary to what HGTV would like you to believe, they're super educated on the housing market.
Right.
And sometimes you go to a listing appointment and they know what their price is and they're right.
Oh, yeah.
Because they know their subdivision.
Well, because it's a lot easier to do the research now.
Yeah.
As a lay person, as a non-agent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I was also laughing because this girl, when I was doing research on this, was like, I'm just so tired of hearing people say, like, I want a big space for entertaining.
Right.
Like, if it was me, I'd be like, I'm a recluse. I don't want to entertain anybody.
Nobody's coming here.
I hate entertaining. Please do not.
But everybody wants to entertain on HGTV.
Yeah, everybody. They want to have all the parties. Yeah. And she's like, well, what if you're like a recluse?
I love when people, this is sort of side to that, are like, I need to buy double ovens for Thanksgiving. And I'm like, but it's one day.
Okay. So they also, in one of the articles, were talking about how buyers in general, this wasn't an HGTV article.
Okay,
this was just, when buyers are looking for a house, they are so short-sighted.
Yeah.
They they aren't thinking long-term.
Right.
Like the ones, like they mentioned, someone was like, found their dream home, but only the master was downstairs.
Oh.
And they didn't want their kids to be on separate floors. And they were like, well, in 2 years, you will want your kids on separate floors.
It's all a matter of time.
Right. Or, just things like that, like buying a house because of Thanksgiving, which is one day a year. And just things that long term, maybe you should think more broad about what you need.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Huh, that's interesting. Was that all 5?
Oh, yeah. That was
of the myths?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think those were good.
Okay. Did you have any other notes?
I don't have any other notes, but we do have a toast.
Great.
Hold on while I retrieve said toast, because I honestly don't remember which capacity I had saved it. Hold please, YouTube. We are going to toast somebody. I just have to find it. I think.
Get it right.
I got it. Oh, this is hard. You know how I'm always tripped up by this.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. Today's toast is brought to you by Cassie, and she is toasting Casey Gray.
Yes.
Okay, so Cassie, y'all, why did they do this to me? Cassie Wilkie is in Oklahoma, and she has joined up with Casey Gray, who is in Ukiah, California. Is that how you say that?
I think so.
I think it's like in wine country.
That's amazing.
Oh, I know. I've got to go visit this chick. Anyway, they have joined up. Cassie started a accountability group that includes the two of them and 3 other awesome real estate agents. They use the group to set weekly personal and work goals, to hold each other accountable and encourage each other. She's so thankful that she found Casey. God, why is it always hard?
Cassie.
She's so thankful she found Casey through Instagram and has made other great friends because of her.
That's so cool that they're like in different states.
I love that.
That's amazing.
But you know what that is? Community over competition.
It is.
Because when you're in different markets, it's a totally different mindset.
Right.
They're never going to be in competition for a client.
No,
they might actually send each other referrals.
That's perfect.
I love it. Okay, so we are cheersing to
Cassie.
Cassie and Cassie. Okay, cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
Okay, bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Hustle Humbly podcast. Let us know who we should toast to for the next episode.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Hustle Humbly Podcast. If you have an episode, topic, or question, please email us at hustlehumblypodcast@gmail.com.
Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. See you next week. Bye.
This is the good life.